up, you guys? Megan here with another video, and for this video I thought this is gonna be a little bit different. It's actually not me like reacting to something, but rather me talking about like a couple videos that I've been watching. If you are new and have not subscribed, I urge you to subscribe. You'll be joining a great family, and I just really appreciate it if you did. So I'm referring to, for this video, I'm referring to the Dolan Twins actually. I haven't like reacted to them and like a particular one of their videos in a couple weeks maybe. If you guys like want me to continue doing that, I definitely can. But I thought I actually watched their interview with or like Caspar's interview of them, where he like sits down and he actually talks about real stuff with them. I will definitely be leaving a link to that in the description. Go check it out if you haven't already. I've actually watched it twice, and I've wrote down notes in this notebook that I'm going to talk about today, because there was just so much going on, and like I was oddly like impressed, but also very like intrigued with where they were going with certain things. I just really wanted to like talk about it with you guys. They're fans, obviously. I'm a fan of theirs, but I feel like it's always good to like keep a conversation going, even if we can't directly talk to them, we can at least like talk amongst ourselves. So yeah, I'm just gonna be like going through whatever I've like written down in this. I'm not gonna lie, it gets sort of philosophical and a little bit like deep at times, but I feel like that was just the entire interview. There's a lot of things that they have said, particularly in that interview, but sprinkled throughout their channel, where I feel like I very much relate to them, and I very much like resonate with the like claims that they make. Alright, so jumping right into it, I'm actually like reading it like full on because I've literally written notes. So first of all, they did discuss the whole like party situation of LA and Hollywood, and where they've been living for quite a while now, because I think they moved when they were what, 14, 15, around that age. So that's a huge thing for me. I feel like, again, that's something that I resonate with, because as someone who goes to college, I also sort of experience the like party environment. I feel like there's just like this stigma going around that like partying and like drinking and whatever goes along with drinking just sort of is a good like mainstream thing to do. I mean, sure, if like from wherever you are, if you are legally allowed to drink, like that's fine, your choice. But one thing that I don't remember if Grayson or Ethan said it, but one of them said it, and they said that they don't feel like the necessity to do any of those things, so they never like got into that whenever they moved, which is great. But I also feel like that's the same thing for me. These are just like, I'm going at a quick pace because I don't want to leave this video like super long. The next thing is they're very diplomatic in their answers. I think maybe it's just because they've grown up in LA, or well, grown up as in like their later teens in LA. Maybe they've like had to learn how to be diplomatic, but in all their answers they're very like nice. They give the super not generic, but they like state their opinion, but they also don't like intend to hurt anyone, which is great. I feel like they're very drama-free folks, which I love. I love all my friends, and the people that I've sort of been distant from, that's the main reason. Like, I completely am a drama-free person. I don't like it. So that, going right into the next point, they're so logical in like a lot of their thoughts. That's like super surprising to me, because I know that I think they eventually went into online school and stuff, so they haven't really experienced like high school in the level of like you and me. I feel like, because we have been through all 4 years, or how many ever years high school is for you guys, around the world. I don't want to, I'm going to keep this like very universal. For those like 4 years of my life at least, it was like public school. It was very like the very like typical person goes through. So they didn't have to go through that. So I'm very surprised to see like how they have grown and like kind of established themselves as them without that. And they have an also very like Bill Gates attitude. Of course, they want to like help people. Philanthropy is very innate to them. They want to, you know, keep going with that, whether it be with social media or with something else, which I totally appreciate. I feel like that's something that honestly every influencer today should be doing and should be focusing on. I mean, yeah, sure, like Instagram followers matter, but I feel like in the end we're all living in the same world, and I feel like if you can make one difference and like help other people, then that's just it makes such more of an impact than going from 7 to 8 million followers on Instagram, you know? So I feel like that's a good goal. That's like a good moral characteristic to have. Going from there, I want to touch upon the like sort of deep, heavy stuff where they were talking about the whole like philosophy and religious aspects of their lives. So this was a huge thing that I felt like I related to them. I don't know why. Ethan was the one who brought that idea up of like technology advancing to the point where we don't personally know whether this is actually like us evolving or this is like our ancestors evolved to the point that they've made a new planet which we exist on, which is, when I say it, I feel like it's very confusing, but if you think about it, it's so interesting. My like theory is that what if our entire world were just like a marble in a jar of like a bigger universe, a bigger world or whatever. So I feel like the same sort of thought process carries through from Ethan's like little theory to my like marble theory. And I just found it so interesting because I felt like every time even Grayson, either of them were like talking, I just felt like the thoughts were like identical, and I don't know how. I feel like maybe it's just like a certain amount of people like think alike. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys are also sort of having the same thoughts, or if you had like the same like string of thoughts, the same like on the same plane, because I feel like not a lot of people do have those like philosophical thoughts unless you're obviously like studying philosophy or you're doing something in philosophy. I feel like normal people may not think on that level. I don't know. Again, I'm just talking about myself, so let me know in the comments if you guys have also had these types of thoughts. And so like this kind of goes into the whole thing of like them wanting like answers or whatever. And they also said they weren't very like religious, and they didn't. I feel like this exact pattern happened to me like a year or 2 years ago, where it was very like a pessimist. I feel like it was also influenced by my literature classes that I've been taking, that I took in school. It was a very like pessimistic outlook, as in, you know, we all end up in the same place anyway, so, you know, like everything, all the materialistic stuff and everything doesn't really matter, which I do agree with. But I feel like that end result is still different for everyone. Yeah, we all die, but I feel like depending on where we are self-wise, as in like self-realization, that will like vary where you are in terms of like your afterlife. I'm also not a very religious person, but I feel like that the way that the twins put it was a very like sort of pessimistic way of looking at it, because sure, we all end up in the same place technically, but like what happens afterwards and what happens at that point when you die is like all up to our like sense of self right now. So I don't know, I feel like I was exactly in their position like a year or 2 years ago, and then something happened and it slowly like became very, very optimistic, I guess. I'm using the words pessimistic and optimistic in very like loose terms, because I do not mean in any way that they are like pessimists, because they're not. They're super happy, they have a very good outlook in life, so yeah, don't get me wrong on that. But those are just some like thoughts. Again, I could literally sit here for hours and talk about this, but I'm literally like, I'm looking at the time that it's taking me to talk about like this little amount, and I'm like, I can't talk anymore. Let me know in the comments, please, please, please have a discussion with me. I understand that a lot of people are probably not going to watch this because it's a little bit deep, it's a little heavy, I'm not really sure. But for those of you who are watching it, let me have, converse with me, talk to me in the comments. That's basically all I got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I post Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I promise I'm going to be more active on those. And let me know all your requests in the comments. And that's basically all I got. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button. It's honestly super easy. It's free. You'll be joining a great family, and we have this great community going. I feel like you would really miss out if you didn't subscribe, so definitely do so if you haven't done that already. But that's basically all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are having a great day or night, depending on whenever you're watching this, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.